My best friend kept looking at my wife at the barbecue, so I began checking into it. At first, I told myself I was imagining things. Maybe he was just spacing out. Maybe he wasn't even looking at her, just in her direction. But the longer I watched, the more obvious it became. His eyes didn't wander accidentally. They followed her. Every time she moved, every time she laughed, every time she reached for something on the table, his head turned like a magnet. It bothered me so much I barely tasted the food. Let me take you back to that afternoon. The barbecue was at my place, a small gathering of close friends. Sun was out, music was light, kids were running around. My wife, Emily, was wearing a simple summer dress, nothing flashy, nothing unusual. She wasn't acting different. She wasn't trying to get attention. But Mark, my best friend of 15 years, could not stop staring. And not the quick, harmless kind of looking. These were long, focused stares. Every time she walked past him, his face flushed and he straightened up like a teenager with a crush. At one point, he dropped his drink because he was too busy watching her laugh across the yard. That's when the first alarm rang in my head. I didn't confront him there. I didn't cause a scene. I watched. I observed. And to my disappointment, it got worse. He started finding excuses to be near her, offering her drinks she didn't ask for, asking questions he already knew the answers to, complimenting her cooking, her hair, her shoes, things he had never once noticed in all the years I'd known him. But the moment that changed everything was when I caught him staring at her with this expression. Not innocent. Not friendly. Something deeper. Something he shouldn't feel for his best friend's wife. That was the moment I decided to dig deeper. After everyone left, I sat in my car and thought about everything. I trusted my wife. I married her because she isn't the type to entertain nonsense. But trust doesn't mean blindness. And best friend or not, a man staring at another man's wife like that, something wasn't right. I started small. First, I checked old messages between Mark and me. Nothing odd. Then I checked photos from past gatherings. I zoomed in on group pictures, party shots, vacations. I didn't want to admit it, but the pattern was there. His eyes were always in her direction, always tracking her, even in photos where she wasn't the main focus. Then I remembered something. 2 months ago, I had given Mark my old iPad. Out of kindness. Out of friendship. He said he needed something to organize his work. I never thought twice about it. But now, the thought hit me like a punch. That iPad was synced to my home Wi-Fi. And my home Wi-Fi was connected to our smart devices. The cameras. The shared albums. The cloud storage. If he had been sneaking around digitally, it wouldn't be hard. So I logged into the cloud. And my stomach dropped. Inside the shared folder, one I had never noticed before, was a collection of screenshots. Screenshots from video clips of our home camera. Clips of my wife cooking, cleaning, reading, folding laundry, just existing, fully clothed, doing normal things, but he still saved them. Dozens of them. My hands went cold. He wasn't cheating with her. She had no idea. But he was obsessed. Quietly. Secretly. And using my own devices to feed that obsession. I confronted Emily first. She was shocked. Horrified. Angry that someone she considered a friend had been watching her without permission. But she didn't hide anything. She didn't flinch. She even grabbed the iPad and threw it into the trash can. That was enough proof for me. The next step was Mark. I called him to the gym, our usual meeting spot. Neutral territory. He walked in smiling like everything was normal. "Bro, what's up? You looked serious on the phone." I didn't waste time. I opened the cloud folder and showed him the screenshots. His face turned white instantly. His mouth opened but no sound came out. He tried to reach for the iPad, but I pulled it away. "You've been watching my wife," I said quietly. He stuttered. I didn't mean, it's just, I couldn't help. You used my devices. In my house. And you stared at her all day like a man who forgot boundaries." He swallowed hard, shaking. "Please don't tell her." "I already did," I replied. And you're done. As my friend. As my guest. As anything. He tried to apologize. He even cried. But I walked away. For 15 years, I had trusted him. Defended him. Helped him through every struggle. But obsession has no excuse. Boundaries exist for a reason. Back at home, Emily hugged me and said, "I'm sorry you had to learn this about him." I wasn't sorry. I was relieved. Sometimes the people you trust the most aren't dangerous because of what they do. They're dangerous because of what they hide. And I wasn't going to let someone like that stay in my life. My best friend kept looking at my wife at the barbecue, so I began checking into it. At first, I told myself I was imagining things. Maybe he was just spacing out. Maybe he wasn't even looking at her, just in her direction. But the longer I watched, the more obvious it became. His eyes didn't wander accidentally. They followed her. Every time she moved, every time she laughed, every time she reached for something on the table, his head turned like a magnet.